All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yes, thanks for the invitation. It was great.
Gopal, as always, a pleasure. Now, the final score was 9-3 in favor of, and how do I say your name correctly?
Avetik.
Avetik, also from ChessMood,
Yeah.
and Gopal Menon, aka Daddy, with an I. Remember the I, not the Y.
Right.
So, pretty funny. We all taught a chess camp today since the morning, and we led different groups. And I find it interesting that we're still here and you guys are ready to play. So that just shows you how much they love chess. And thanks for hosting the match again, the NBL, and of course Lion's Paw Karate Dojo. And let's see. Well, how many views were there? There were 1,500 views, over 400 comments. So there was a lot of trash talking, I'm sure, from non-Chicago natives. So I can't wait to read all those interesting little comments that we can run it back potentially. I think that's the most important thing. So how'd you feel about the match, Daddy?
Well, I don't think I was at my best today. I felt like a couple of big blunders in failing to convert a lot of promising positions took some of the wind out of my sails. But it has to be said, like, Grandmaster Grigoryan, whose games I had closely followed, maybe even a few years before this match, conducted a lot of games with great verve, let's say, and he's a very dynamic player. I always admire a Grandmaster that's brave enough to play sharp lines like the modern Benoni, King's Indian, very uncompromising style. So I always enjoy facing such players, and I enjoy the match.
And how did you feel about the match today? What were your overall impressions?
Yeah, I came very tired because I'm already 1 month here. I played tournaments and many stuff, so I'm very tired. Also, I know how strong Gopal is in Blitz. I believe if he plays this match again tomorrow or next one week, score can be every day totally different score.
So I totally agree with that.
So he was blundering much. I was tired, so quality was not good. Also, I just told Gopal, so first game, if he didn't blunder, all the match could be totally different.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you look at scores like this and it's 9-3, one can just say, "Oh, it was dominant." Yeah. But I mean, I sat and watched all the games, and I realized, okay, if maybe 3 games go a different way, all of a sudden it's a 6-6 game. Yeah. Not to take anything away from you, you still executed, you took care of business, you didn't make any gross blunders.
Yeah,
that was definitely
that was on my side, for sure.
that was in your favor, and I think also even when you had better positions, you seemed to hold pretty tightly. Now, what do you think? What's your advice for other players out there playing Blitz, and just overall advice how to play Blitz? What's the strategy? What are things that you should look out for when you're playing?
I never was great in Blitz. I don't play much. I'm sure Gopal played like 10 times more than Blitz than me. Yeah? But I have some friends who are very good in Blitz. So few advices I took from them. It's always control the time. And I said, keep your pieces together, not all the board. One is left, one is right, one is left, one is right. Okay. Because then you blunder a lot.
Okay.
And also very good if in the Blitz you know the schemes you play, you know the pawn structures you play, you know the ideas. Because then you put 20 moves, you know what you do, then you get time advantage. And also opponent is panicking, what is this going here? How happened with in our first match, in our first game. He plays at the line. I didn't really remember the line. I spent 2 minutes of my time.
The advanced variation.
Yeah. So it's very good to know the positions that you play. It's very important in Blitz because if it's classical game, you will have time to think and find the right things. But if you don't know the position that you play Blitz, it's very dangerous. So you should really know what you are doing. So play familiar positions.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So play what you know it well, know the ideas, know the plans. Yeah. Don't fall behind on time.
Yeah, and also try to keep initiative.
Initiative.
It's very
and
important.
make sure you have harmony with your pieces, right?
Sure.
It's a team of 16 players, not 16
Yes, because
individual pieces.
Classically, you can one is left, one is right, and you make all the board. But in Blitz, if all pieces are playing together, it's hard to blunder. So that was the reason I didn't blunder so much. And okay, quality was not so good, but I didn't blunder so much keeping pieces together. But okay, we both came a little bit tired to the game, to the match. Otherwise, I believe it would be if you play next this match tomorrow, he could win the same score.
I mean, but to be fair to you, it was the same conditions. I mean, we all taught at that camp. I mean, I admit though, I was partially closing my eyes. I mean, that's just how tired I am from the camp.
So
but yeah, you know, it's the same conditions, same field. So you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying about that. I think you guys are pretty close, but you did show why you are a grandmaster. But you do have the initials GM. Hopefully that'll be satisfied at the right
hopefully I can
moment.
live up to it.
But my question to you is maybe which game or which games did you find to be the most pivotal in the match? I mean, obviously you started off with kind of a rough start, kind of hard to recover from. Just feels like, you know, the whole world is against you at that point. You know, kind of tough to come back from.
Yeah, the first half definitely I lost a lot of momentum. I mean, I'll take it game by game from the first half. So the first game, you know, I got big time advantage out of the opening. Great position, but what bothered me was that at some point I was thinking about making a move, and it was just an illegal move, and so that was already like kind of setting off the alarm bells in my head that something's wrong. And then a few moves later, I was thinking for a while about a move, and you can probably see it on camera. I probably gave it away that I shook my head. My position was still good, but it was just blundering a piece in one move, and so I knew something wasn't right. And then, so yeah, I mean, game one was important. As it transpired, I lost that really good position, unfortunately. Game two, I felt like I didn't play the opening in the most exact way. It was an interesting top goal line, the Steinitz variation in the French defense. And I was lucky to get some counterplay on the king side, and I think at the end that was pretty well played. Yeah, you balanced with my F5 attack. And I don't think I had anything better.
Yeah, so if I recall correctly, knight on F5, king G7, right? King H8, and perpetual. You were low on time, so it's probably a necessity.
Exactly. And then, what was it? Game 3.
Game 3 would have been black.
That was the Benoni.
I think I can almost remember most with you guys.
Yeah, so this was a topical exchange sacrifice in the Benoni. I mean, I thought it was amusing that I would play this line for two reasons. Number one, Maestro over here is a fellow Benoni enthusiast, and from time to time maybe, and then also this exchange sacrifice is very much in former world champion Petrosian style, and so subconsciously I must have thought, like I told him after the game, that it would be nice to play in that style against the Armenian Grandmaster, and I didn't handle it in the most exact way, and so my time was bad, and but by the end I came back, but I didn't realize I flagged. Like in a lot of games I was not controlling the time well. I'm used to playing a lot of 3-0 online. I play like a few 3+2 tournaments every year. I just won one at the Marshall Chess Club when we went to New York over the summer. And so it was a bit strange to me, like, all of a sudden I'm at 3 seconds, and then before I make the move and press the clock, I flag.
Yeah.
And as for game 4, just real quick, then, I mean, something went wrong in the opening, and, I was just overwhelmed with dynamics. But by then I felt like I had already, I had lost the thread, like I couldn't do a lot right.
Is it the game with A4, Queen A5 chess?
Yes, very nice.
And then game 3, when you flagged, my memory recalls You had a pawn on g4 down exchange, and that's when you flag.
But I'm
But you're
regaining-
fine. You're fine in that position. Yeah. Game 4.
I could maybe even press for mutual time pressure.
Yeah, I think game 4 it fell off the rails.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think, and I told you outside too, I just thought that your approach in the first few games was a little too casual, and maybe that's why, when you have 3 seconds on your clock, if you had that more hasty approach, maybe you have that extra second for the rest of the game.
Definitely. It's easier, I think, to flag, or at least for me. I don't know about everybody else, but as somebody who doesn't play a lot of 3-2, it's easier to flag in 3-2, not only because it's sort of I wouldn't say alien time control, it's definitely less familiar, but yeah, like the 2-second increment, it's not even that much, but it creates this false cushion.
Yeah, it always seems like, I should always be able to survive in any position and not flag, but sometimes the position's so complicated, what's an extra 2 seconds going to do?
Yeah.
So, who knows?
I mean, I just forgot, okay, he's, Grandmaster Grigoryan is also making mistakes as well, so it's just too many things going on in my head.
Yeah, and I think the main reason why they play 3+2 is so that when you do have a winning position, you can't get flagged. But
myself, I see lots of videos when it's 3+0, yeah, and there are very unpleasant situations are coming, yeah. You do a move, you pick a move, you clock, you press, and all the pieces are down on the board.
Of course,
absolutely. So especially without arbiter, it's gonna be problematic. So this is
No, I understand. I think you guys played a very gentlemanly match, very fair match. But I will say, personally, the thrill of Blitz is knowing that you can flag someone, and with the 2-second increment, it's not always the same feeling. Sometimes it's like, I can't flag them. But that's part of the joy of the game. But still, it was a stronger quality match, and it's not like, 2 kids trying to flag each other. So
yeah, definitely.
That's pretty much it. Anything else you have planned while in Chicago? You leave tomorrow, right?
Yeah, after tomorrow I leave.
Okay.
But I need to meet a few friends. I will take this moment to say thank you to this MBL. When I came, I didn't know that it will be like this. It's this board, cameras, people.
I'm from Chicago. I didn't know it was.
Yeah, it was like you are playing world champion market. Seriously, condition was super. I really enjoyed this role. So thank you very much. You are doing a great job. So I wish you all the luck.
Any questions from the audience? Will, Eric?
No, I was just reflecting. I've been playing chess since the 70s, about 40 years, and now you guys just reflect upon the passion of this game, because of the tiredness, the fatigue, and still coming and playing what you love to play. There's a level of passion there that's excelled, and I just applaud that.
Thank you.
For the love of the game.
So, for each of you, who would you like to play another match against? If there's another person.
Who you want to call out? Oh yeah, call him out. Let it out now.
Let's go with the GM first.
Well, I don't know what other guys. If that was possible, I would like to play with Caruana.
Well,
Caruana, you've been called out.
Let's set that match up.
You're right.
But if we win Chicago guys, I don't know. So
Match would have been another one.
And what about you? I only
Well-
expect one thing.
Yeah. I have a lot of opponents actually I'd like to play again. Carlos Mania, we had a very tight match in New York. Yakov Norwitz, definitely. I would love to play again. Great opponent for me to play. It's kind of a clash of styles, and I feel like I can learn a lot from him. I'll play Caruana. But number 1 on my hit list.
I think he wants a rematch. Was there a rematch clause in the contract? Or no?
maybe next time you
I
visit.
think this has to be defined ahead of time. This is very important. Perhaps with the proper stakes and all
Nate,
that.
what about Alex Ramirez, that super GM we had come
Oh yeah.
here before?
Yeah.
How
You
think?
mean Alejandro?
Yeah, Alejandro. Yeah.
Alejandro.
Oh, Yeah, I'd play him. Would you like to play Grandmaster Ramirez?
I'll play anyone anytime. It just depends on the situation. That's all. I beat him before at the World Open Blitz.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember.
We gotta discuss that at a later time.
He may have a plus record, but you know.
Who's
Yeah,
counting?
I beat a few GMs in that tournament. So, but hey,
Okay.
by the way, you know he mentioned Caruana, but he did beat Magnus Carlsen online. I gotta praise you somewhere, man. So
Oh, thanks.
he did beat Magnus Carlsen online. Feel free to show the game at any
Was he
time.
drunk or something? Or did
No,
was I?
no.
Was Magnus-
Here, I'll tell him the conditions of the match. So basically, he was anonymous at that time,
Okay.
and
I didn't know.
and
it was
he
him.
didn't even know it was him. He beat Carlsen in the match, and then Carlsen went on to beat a few of the other top players in the world, only giving up one draw for the remainder of the tournament. So Carlsen was very upset after that loss. And then after the tournament, so post-tournament, it got revealed that, yo, you beat Carlsen. It's like, what? What are you talking about? No, this guy, Stop
Try Harding.
Try Harding was his
Yeah, it's
name.
on
So,
it's
YouTube.
on YouTube. Yeah, there was a qualifying tournament. The guy had a 2250 rating, but then I saw his rating in some other category, and I thought, okay, this is a bunch of BS. I mean, it's probably a grandmaster and a very strong grandmaster. I didn't know who though, because we're just playing Blitz. You just check the person's profile a few seconds. I was one of the top players in that qualifier. I was like over 2,900 or something like that. And this guy 2257, I'm getting pared down the first few rounds, and so I played him. And I thought, okay, whatever, I'll just sacrifice a pawn. I vaguely recalled some theory, and then I didn't follow up in the most accurate way, but I made it his king, like chased him from the center to
Oh,
the
he
queen side.
smashed
It
him.
was nasty.
He's being very polite about what he did to Magnus
Yeah.
Carlsen.
His first. It's funny. His first game in that tournament was against CCB's very own A Cash Money.
Oh,
Shout out at
Shout out.
Gosh, been around a long time.
Koshmaduri.
Yeah, he played solid, but he got ground down by a typical Carlsen style in the end, and then he played me. He gave up one draw to Medlakov, former European champion, beat Grishuk and a bunch of other players, and qualified for the knockout.
Okay.
I have a question for Gopal.
Yeah.
Yeah, several times I've noticed that during the match, you'll start looking up in there, off
Yeah.
in the sky. And what's going through your mind?
Good question. Yeah.
Well,
I don't think
some of those things I can't really reveal on camera, number one. Number two, I don't know. But number three, I think they said psychologists, they say like when you look in a certain direction, I believe it was left, you're trying to remember something, right?
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, there was one part, maybe even trying to access some like creative part of your brain.
Yeah,
as
it's
well,
like
so.
if I'm starting to dig deep, there's also a Soviet method of it's like some anti-blunder check thing. I forgot who came up with it. Rabinovich Romanovsky. Maybe you can correct me on this, Maestro. But like, basically the technique was to write down your move before you play it. You cover it up with the pencil or pen, and then look at the board. And nowadays this is outlawed by FIDE rules. So you'll notice players like Ivanchuk, for example. He's famous, and sort of an extreme example. But the point is to break your concentration slightly to get a fresh look at the position. Plus, it's hard to stare at a board, even if it's for a 3-minute game the whole time. So.
All right. Well, Grandmaster Avetik, thank you for playing the match. Thanks for coming to Chicago. Pleasure working with you today. As always,
And
have
also,
your back for future
lastly,
matches.
I'd like
And
to thank our hosts,
of course. Thanks again,
Goddamn
Daniel.
UX, for hosting.
Oh.
Lions
Long
Paw.
time,
Excellent match.
known him,
Excellent match.
20 years. Lions Paw Karate Academy. Come visit it. Visit the website. This is one heck of a dude, one heck of a person. Chess extraordinaire and martial artist. And as always, thank you to the NBL, Nathan Kelly, Louis, the whole team.
Evan Walker.
Don't forget about the new movement, the NBL movement. It's pulling in players from across the country. Nothing like some trash talk to get people out of bed and little people a little butthurt.
Right.
Me included. Everyone gets a little butthurt sometimes, and sometimes you just have to take the
I have one question for
sometimes.
Gopal.
Oh, but hashtag real quick, can I make a couple plugs?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so, I'm sure Grandmaster Grigoryan would like to plug his own site again, ChessMood, but, I've checked out some of the stuff. It's very interesting, very unique content. Got a little taste of some of the stuff that's recommended there.
Oh, you got a
All the
taste
players
already.
are, yeah, all the players that contribute to ChessMood are all very strong. Andreasian, Gabuzian, who we've both played and familiar with his blitz prowess.
Very strong player.
And for anybody that's in Chicago or is visiting Chicago, please check out Nick's Billards on Pulaski and Montrose. It's a bit north, but it's the best damn pool room in Chicago.
And one question. Can we see that coat you're wearing? Is it?
Of course.
What exactly is it again? Is it vegan or is it?
Yeah, it is vegan. Yeah, so those of you who
No, I'm
don't-
serious.
Yes,
Will, you think I'm joking? You
It's
think-
a serious question.
Yeah.
I am vegan. No animals were harmed making this coat. Soft. I don't believe in cruelty to animals. Yeah. You want me to do a twirl?
Okay, this is a little awkward. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right.
It's getting weird now.
Yeah.